Why does not knowing make us feel uneasy? Why does uncertainty feel heavier than a bad answer? Why does the unknown so easily turn into something that feels like a threat? These questions often emerge in the most ordinary moments, woven quietly into everyday experience. Waiting for a message, expecting news, or standing at a junction without clear signs. Nothing dangerous may be happening, and yet something inside tightens. Perhaps the discomfort does not come from what is happening, but from what might happen next. In this video, we consider why uncertainty often feels unsettling and how the mind tends to respond by searching for meaning. Imagine a traveler walking along a road winding through the forest. Certain details feel familiar. The kinds of trees lining the way, the birds whose calls he can still recognize. As he moves forward, the fog begins to settle. With each step, the road grows less visible and the traveler slowly fades into the mist. His phone offers no signal here. The traveler carries a map, but it is damaged. Large sections have faded, and some details are no longer readable. Nothing is chasing him, nothing blocks his way, and still he hesitates. This hesitation captures something deeply human. When situations are unclear, incomplete, or difficult to interpret, people often experience more than simple confusion. Ambiguity is often used to describe situations in which information is incomplete, probabilities cannot be estimated, or the rules of a situation are undefined. Importantly, ambiguity is not the same as danger. Nothing harmful may be happening. There may be no immediate risk, no visible threat, no clear reason for alarm, and yet ambiguity frequently feels unsettling. One reason for this lies in how the human mind tends to operate. Rather than responding only to what is happening in the present moment, the mind is constantly oriented toward what comes next. It anticipates, predicts, and prepares. This forward-looking tendency allows people to navigate complex environments with relative ease. When the future can be imagined, even roughly, actions feel possible. Ambiguity often interrupts this process. When outcomes cannot be anticipated and the structure of a situation remains unclear, the mind struggles to generate reliable expectations. The difficulty is not simply a lack of information, but the absence of guidance. Without knowing what kind of situation one is in, it becomes difficult to determine how to act within it. This loss of guidance is often experienced as a reduction in perceived control. Even in the absence of physical danger, diminished control tends to activate vigilance. Attention narrows. The mind becomes alert, scanning for cues, patterns, or signals that might clarify what is happening. This heightened state is not driven by certainty, but by its absence. From this perspective, uncertainty becomes uncomfortable, not because it guarantees harm, but because it prevents confident movement forward. The difficulty rarely remains purely cognitive. It is often accompanied by emotional unease, restlessness, and a sense that something remains unresolved. Anxiety in this context does not necessarily reflect fear of a specific outcome. Instead, it reflects sensitivity to the unknown, the challenge of preparing for possibilities that cannot yet be imagined. The distinction between risk and ambiguity helps clarify this experience. Risk involves uncertainty, but it is structured. Possible outcomes are known. Probabilities can be estimated, even if imperfectly. Ambiguity lacks this structure. In ambiguous situations, the mind does not simply ask what might happen. It asks, what kind of situation is this? Without a clear framework, comparison becomes challenging, decisions feel heavier, avoidance becomes tempting. Behavioral research suggests that people often prefer situations with known probabilities over those with unclear ones, even when the known option may be objectively worse. This tendency is commonly described as ambiguity aversion. Rather than carefully weighing outcomes, individuals appear to avoid situations in which the structure itself is uncertain. What is avoided is not risk alone, but the sustained discomfort of operating without reliable reference points. Ambiguity, in this sense, can undermine orientation. Orientation does not require certainty, but it does require enough structure to determine where one stands and what actions are available. When orientation is lost, even neutral situations can feel threatening. Faced with this discomfort, the mind rarely remains passive. Rather than tolerating prolonged uncertainty, it often begins to search for meaning. This process does not primarily aim at accuracy. Its function appears to be regulatory. Meaning, in this context, is not equivalent to truth. Meaning can provide a sense of structure. A meaningful explanation reduces uncertainty by narrowing the range of possible interpretations. It answers enough questions to allow movement. Why this might be happening, what it implies, and what could be done next. Importantly, this process is not driven solely by deliberate reasoning. The mind is not asking, is this explanation perfectly accurate? It is asking, is this explanation sufficient to proceed? Uncertainty can create a state of internal competition. Multiple interpretations coexist, none clearly dominant. This unresolved competition consumes mental resources and contributes to emotional strain. Meaning often alleviates this tension by favoring a single interpretive framework. Even a fragile conclusion can feel stabilizing. People often report relief after reaching an explanation, not necessarily because the explanation is correct, but because the state of unresolved uncertainty has ended. The discomfort in many cases was not caused by ignorance itself, but by unresolved ignorance. I don't know keeps the system open. I know enough allows it to settle. Through this lens, meaning functions as a psychological buffer. It does not eliminate uncertainty, nor does it guarantee accuracy. What it offers is temporary coherence, a way to reconnect actions with outcomes, even if those connections remain provisional. This also helps explain why ambiguity is sometimes treated as if it were dangerous until clarified. Non-dangers can be anticipated and prepared for. Unknown ones lack boundaries. Without boundaries, planning becomes hard and caution becomes the default response. This bias toward caution may not always be accurate, and it may sometimes lead to missed opportunities. But it reflects a deeply ingrained tendency to protect the mind from prolonged uncertainty, sustained vigilance, and unresolved tension. Meaning, then, does not remove risk. It makes uncertainty tolerable. And in a world where complete certainty is rare, tolerating uncertainty may be one of the mind's most important adaptive challenges. Perhaps the traveler never needed a perfect map. Perhaps what unsettled him was not the forest or the fog or the uncertainty of the route, but the moment when familiar landmarks faded and no clear direction remained. In that moment, the forest did not become dangerous. It became undefined. And when the world loses definition, the mind begins to search for signs, for structure, for meaning. Not to eliminate uncertainty, but to make it livable. Because uncertainty is not always a problem to be solved. Sometimes it's a condition to be endured. And meaning is not always about knowing where the road leads. Sometimes it's simply what allows us to take the next step.